How's it going? Welcome to week 4 of the NFL Review Show. I'm Cole Sharf, and as always, I'm with my co-host Anthony Fielding.
What's up, everybody? Good, and you?
Yeah, he missed us last week. There's some miscommunications on my part, and then his sister got a car, so that's exciting. He wanted to be there for that, so that's cool. But we're back on page now. I'm gonna gloat about myself for a little bit here. I went 11-5 in picks last week, and you can watch week 3 review and check it out for yourself. All the picks are there, and I checked them off and counted them twice. 11-5. The pros don't even do that, so ESPN needs to give me a fucking call. That's for sure. I'd be on ESPN in a heartbeat and put those guys to shame. Let's get right into it. I'm a little stuffed up. Hopefully it doesn't affect how I sound. But the best game of the week to me was the Rams-Vikings. Well, I don't say the best game, but it was a good Thursday night game. Most Thursday night games are one-sided and sloppy. 38-31. The Vikings definitely bounced back from how they looked against Buffalo the week before, but they still lost. In my opinion, Kirk Cousins doesn't look like he's worth $84 million. But hey, what do I know? What do you think about that game?
Yeah, I liked it. Like all these Thursday night games have been pretty exciting so far. I think they've been emphasizing like more offensive games, but this definitely was like it looked like a playoff showdown. And people are still criticizing the Minnesota's defense, which I think actually played pretty good, especially against the Rams, who can, I mean they went off, but you know they gave up a lot of yards, but still kind of held them towards the end to give them a chance to tie the game at least.
Well, Talib was out for him, and that's a huge person in their secondary to lose. Peters had a hamstring injury, he still played, but he wasn't 100%. But still, the Rams and the Chiefs, man, they look like the two best teams in football. I'll get to the Chiefs here in a second. I got a lot to say about them. This Colts-Texans game, Texans get their first win, 37-34. The Colts went for the win. I like it. They don't want to play for a tie. They went for the win, and I really like it. The play call was a little questionable, if you ask me. If you're going to throw a 4th and 4 and you're going to just force it to somebody. You tried to draw them off sides. It didn't work. Then you brought your offense back out there, so then they knew you were going for it the second time. If you're going to go for it in that situation, at least for me, I'm going for it the first time. I try and draw them off sides a couple times, then go for it, not draw them off sides. Call a timeout, then bring your offense back out there and go for it.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. It didn't work out for them, but I like the fact that they played for the win. 37-34, Texans get a win. Deshaun Watson looked back to his normal form. And that Fuller kid, man, he's very underrated and super consistent. I mean, he scores a touchdown every single game he plays. So.
Yeah, he scored. It was that 4-yard touchdown,
yeah.
But he got a little banged up after that. I don't know if he came back or not.
Hopefully he did. Fantasy. Then we'll go through this one real quick. I know you don't want to talk about it. Bills-Packers. Packers win 22-0.
Yeah. Our offense was back to normal. You know, we still forced a turnover, had a chance to score before half, and then rookie mistake. He instead of throwing the ball out of bounds, he tries to force it in there. They pick it off and then take it back. Pretty much in field goal range and end up kicking a field goal, and that's the whole 6-point swing before the half to start off. But I'm still liking our defensive play. I mean, we held Aaron Rodgers to 1 touchdown, and I mean he had some yardage, but we gave up 22 points to the Packers, and the Packers Aaron Rodgers can score some points. So
oh yeah, for sure.
It's just we definitely need a lot of work on offense, and I think we had like. I know Ivory had like 6 carries. McCoy had like 7. I think we need to run the ball a lot more, especially with a rookie quarterback who's got sacked like 6 times by the Packers, who are not known for pass rushing. So
I don't know why you don't give the ball. I mean, you got Ivory too. Ivory's a fucking beast everywhere he's been. He's another guy who's been underrated. The dude gets yards every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, he runs hard. And like I'm all for like. Running up the middle, bruising them up for the first half, and then using speed in the second half. But
the Bears versus the Bucks. Fitzmagic is done. It lasted as long as it normally does, about 3 games, and then reality hits back in. Jameis Winston starting now going forward. They said 48-10. Man, that Bears fucking team looks legit. I mean, Khalil Mack. I mean, they have other pieces around him, but adding him has made that defense 1,000 times better. And Trubisky looks like the real deal. I mean, he still makes some inconsistent throws, but overall, that offensive play calling is just fucking genius, man. A lot of those plays they're running is just fucking sweet. So if the Bears can keep it up, they look like a legit team. I think they'll win that division. Because I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to go down eventually with playing with a banged up knee all season. Someone's going to hit him hard. Someone's going to land on that knee, and I think he's going to go down at some point this season.
Yeah, I will say this week against the Bills, his stats might not show for it, but he did look a lot better than he did the previous weeks of that. Like, he wasn't limping, he was moving around in the pocket, and we were creating pressure, and he was getting away from him. He ran for a couple of first downs, so I think that knee's getting a lot better than people think it is.
And here's the one that pisses me off: the Finns versus the Patriots. The Dolphins are 3-0, starting off the year hot, just looking like one of the most dominant teams in the NFL. And then you got a chance to put the Patriots even farther back in the division, and you just let them shit pound you 38-7. It's just like everybody was saying, oh, the Patriots are done. This is the exact same thing that happened last year. They started off slow. Oh, the Patriots are done. And then bam, they come out and fucking shit pound one of the best defenses in the NFL like it's nothing. And they still don't even have Edelman back yet. He comes back this week.
Yep.
Josh Gordon got some snaps. Didn't really make a huge difference, but he's just getting familiar with that offense. That dude gets it going, it's going to be nasty, man. They're going to fucking light it up.
Yeah, and those two running backs, Sonny Michel and then James White, of course, they both went off.
Yeah, Sonny Michel looking like the player that he was going to be, drafted in 31st overall, finally making some plays.
Yep.
Cowboys versus Lions. The Cowboys offense came alive a little bit. 26-24, Cowboys win. I thought the Lions were going to win that game and get 2 in a row, but they just can't seem to finish games, man. It's been a problem for them for a long time.
And that's the defense, Stafford, I think there was 3 minutes left. Stafford drove right down the field, scored a touchdown, and then the Cowboys end up in field goal range, and Nebraska's own Brett Maher got the game winner, so that's his first of his career.
See, I was thinking, like, what if this dude misses it? All the fans are going to be like, where's Dan Bailey? Why did you get rid of Dan Bailey?
Yeah, because he already missed, 2 field goals already this year.
Yeah.
So I think he definitely saved his job, but I think people aren't giving credit to the Cowboys defense. They've been holding low scores every single game, which...
Yeah, they look good. They definitely look improved and surprising me a little bit. I will say that Dak Prescott still doesn't look that good to me, man. He looks like he's been exposed ever since his rookie season, and I'll say that all year long.
Yeah, and Zeke did all the work. I mean, he kept throwing swing passes to Zeke. I mean, they found which helped them out a lot was he got more than 15 touches.
Yep.
And you see exactly what happened. The dude's a monster.
Yeah, Zeke finally looked like Zeke himself. 49ers versus the Chargers. The Chargers, before the season, everybody said, oh, they're going to win their division. They're going to, be better than the Chiefs, better than the Broncos. Fuck, they barely beat the Niners with, what's his name, C.J.
Beathard,
the dude from Iowa.
Some people call him Beat Hard, but
yeah,
it's Beathard.
I mean, there's a backup quarterback, and the Niners have all kinds of injuries, and the Chargers barely beat him by 2. So 29-27, it was a close game. There's a lot of close games on Sunday and Monday.
Yeah, the Chargers they got down pretty quick. They started off with the Phillip Rivers pick 6, just straight off the bat, and then they punted, and then Niners drove down the field and scored again. So they were down 14-0, but they came back with the deficit. And I think having Bosa out right now is a big loss for them. I mean, you can see what Rush Ends can do.
Oh yeah, huge. Do you think that this next game, Bengals beat the Falcons 37-36? That to me was probably the game of the day.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch.
Bengals legit, man.
Yeah, I think they are. The new offensive coordinator and freaking AJ Green's healthy. He wasn't healthy last year. Andy Dalton and that combo is just monster.
And they get Mixon back this week, so
yeah.
I mean they won with. I mean, don't get me wrong, Giovanni Bernard's been good his whole career, but he's never been that guy, that number one guy. So.
Yeah, he's just a pass catching back.
But with Joe Mixon coming back, I think they're gonna win against Miami. I think they play Miami this week. Yep, they play Miami this week, so I think they're gonna beat Miami and continue rolling.
Yeah, this Bengals team looks good. They got defense.
And then we'll get to this one. My Jets get their ass kicked by Jacksonville. We just, I don't know, man. We just, I don't know, man. We can't put together our offense. We're not taking shots downfield. We're throwing fucking 87 bubble screens to Quincy Enunwa, which I don't care. He's a Husker. Get him the ball. Keep throwing him the ball. But you're just going to, hurt Sam Darnold's development. Let the fucking dude take shots. If it's there, let him throw the fucking ball. Like, give him some more control at the line of scrimmage. I've been reading articles that they don't give him as much control at the line of scrimmage as he should have. Give him the control. We're losing games with sitting on him, you know what I mean? We might as well let him go, and if we're still losing games, what the fuck is the difference?
Yeah, and like we said before, it's like Brady's still in the division. This is a perfect time for our quarterbacks to develop. And,
Exactly.
See what they're capable of.
Our defense gave up 588 total yards. unacceptable. And they weren't even deep passes. They were just killing us down low. We weren't in the right spots. I think I said last week, Todd Bowles is on the hot seat. We need to win like 5 out of the next 6 games for that dude to even hope his job's safe. It's just not good. We're not putting together full football games. One half we look all right, the second half we look like shit, or vice versa. And penalties and personal fouls and holding. Like we had 3 plays of over 40 yards get called back because of holding. That's gonna kill anybody. You know what I mean? That's 120 yards taken off the board because of holding penalties. I will say this: Jacksonville's fucked up because they scored a touchdown with like 2 minutes left in the game and went for 2. They didn't get the 2-point conversion, but you're up 31-12. Why the fuck you going for 2? I've never liked that. I get it. It's the NFL. It's not high school. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But I mean, come on. It's gonna happen to them eventually, and they're not gonna like it either. So it is what it is. You had the game in your hands. Why are you going for 2 up 31-12?
Yeah.
Eagles Titans, probably my surprise team in the NFL right now is the Tennessee Titans. They beat the Eagles 26-3. Granted, it was Alshon Jeffrey's first game back, only Carson Wentz's second game back. But Tennessee's played in 3 close games out of 4, and they've won all 3 close ones. That's what you want to see in a team, is a team that can, finish strong and win when you have to. Eagles, they always say that Super Bowl hangover is a real thing, and it looks like it is for Philly. Their defense doesn't look the same. Oh, that's my cat in the background. See her, yeah. And I think Tennessee looks legit, man. Their offense doesn't look very good, but they put up 26 on Philly's defense. So that's why I say Philly's defense isn't the same as it was last year. They're not getting that pass rush in their secondaries, not locking them down like they did.
Yeah, their defensive line definitely looks suspect.
Yeah. I mean, Henry, surprisingly, Henry ain't got it going yet this year. Derrick Henry. I expected more out of him than he's shown. The Raiders versus the Browns. The Raiders get their first win, 45-42 over Cleveland. I picked that one wrong. I picked Baker Mayfield every fucking time. I haven't yawned all day, and then I get on a podcast and I start fucking yawning. I don't understand why that happens, but no matter what I do, that's what happens. Raiders versus Browns. Browns lose 45-42. Hell of a game. I thought the Raiders were gonna win, or the Browns were gonna win it, and fucking the Raiders pulled it off. So that's good. Good for John Gruden to get his first
but
win.
I think the Raiders should have lost though, because there was like 3 minutes left in the game, and Derek Carr drops back, and you can't real time. You couldn't see what happened, but all of a sudden you see the ball just pop out. It was gonna be, they were gonna take it for 6. The Browns were gonna take it for 6, and then they called it dead. They said his arm was moving forward. They showed the replay. The ball clearly just comes out before he even moves his arm back.
Before he even got to, I went on a little rant last week, and I'm just like, put flags on the fucking quarterbacks, dude. Like, he had 2 guys coming, they swarmed him. As soon as they made contact, the ball flew out. How can you say he was wrapped up and you can stop it?
Yeah, really thought the Browns took that for 6.
And then there was 2 controversial, replays that were scripted, like they called it on 3rd and 2 or whatever. They called the first down, then they reviewed it and said he was short, and then it happened again. If I'm Cleveland, though, I'm going for it. I'm going to lock this fucking win up. You know what I mean? Regardless, I'm going to guarantee get this win. You guys haven't won shit in how long? Yeah. You have a chance to win the game. Fucking what you got to lose? You know what I mean? Yeah,
and then you'll have the edge on Pittsburgh because you tied with them. You could have went to go one up on them. They said yesterday when I was watching the game, they said underneath the screen that the NFL reviewed that play for Carlos Hyde when they overturned the first down. They said they got the call right.
Well, so. It was right, but still, if I'm Cleveland, I go for it. I'm so sick of it. I'm gonna go off for a second here. I'm so sick of refs making calls in games and then coming out the next day and saying they made a mistake or they got the call wrong. Like last night in that Sunday and Monday Night Football game. They missed that delay of game on that 33-yard pass, and then the refs come out today and say, oh, yeah, we missed that call. We're sorry. What the fuck does that change, man? Now, you know what I mean? Just shut your mouth. You made the call. Stick with it. Don't come out and say you're wrong because it happens multiple times a week. Just leave it be. You fucked up. We all know you fucked up. You don't need to come out and say it because then you get people hot at you anyways and pissed off at you. Yeah. And you're getting heat on all the fucking referees. You made the call, stick with it. Who cares if it was wrong or not? You know what I mean? Let people, at least leave that up for, you know what I mean? Let people make their own decision. Don't come out and say, oh, sorry, Denver, we just cost you the game on this blatantly fucked up call, but we're going to say sorry for it. What can we do?
Yeah, you're talking about that the play clock when it ran out, when it ran to 0?
Yeah. It's like, I mean, come on. But my
Yeah,
uncle,
and-
I was talking shit to my uncle, and I was like, well, they're not perfect. What can you do? Because he's a Broncos fan. So I was like, hey, what can you do? They're not perfect.
Yeah.
But it was blatantly a missed call. And
But
it was a huge play in the game.
And the thing is like in basketball games, if the clock hit reaches zero, you're notified right away to where you don't get the shot off.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that determines games or
You know
championships
what? That's not
at
a
that.
bad idea. Why don't they put a buzzer on the play clock?
Yeah, or
Why?
like something like flashing or
Why not put a buzzer on the time
yeah.
clock? Because the way they explained it on TV was the ref looks at the clock. If he sees it looks zero, he looks at the quarterback, so he has to tell if the ball was snapped before it came to zero or after. Most of the time they get it right, but if they put a buzzer on that son of a bitch, then that ref doesn't even have to watch that clock. All he can focus on is when the ball snapped. That's a fucking great idea. Why don't they? They should do that. I might send them a fucking email.
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Look like the Cardinals were going to get their first win. Josh Rosen looks like he's all right, man. He looks like he's going to be good. Seattle got their win 20-17.
Yeah, he was one of the quarterbacks that took a back seat for a couple weeks,
Yep.
behind a veteran.
Yep. Hey, let's go back to this Bengals-Falcons game. I can't believe I forgot to bring this up. Tyler Eifert, man, we talked about it before the podcast.
Woo.
Yeah, nasty, dude. His ankle was sideways, backwards.
And then they always show it in slow motion again.
I know, and the commentators were like, okay, we see it, get it off the screen, we see it, get it off the screen, and yeah, it was not pretty, man. It was ugly. I feel bad for that dude, like you were saying. Could be a beast, but he's just been fighting that injury bug his whole fucking career, and I think this will be the one that, he decides to walk away from the game. I don't know that for sure. That's just speculation. I haven't heard it or anything.
Yeah, I could see that. It could only go through so much pain, but who knows? By now, it probably doesn't even faze him anymore.
Bro, I mean, that shit was nasty.
Yeah.
That shit was nasty.
Yeah.
Saints versus G-Man. Tom Brady. Drew Brees, 33, G-Man 18. Drew Brees is getting really close to breaking Peyton Manning's all-time passing record. It's set up for him to break it this week, it sounds like. So I like Drew Brees. I've always liked Drew Brees. I'd like to see him get another championship to help put him in that conversation.
He just got done breaking the completion record.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
he already broke that one, but now he's about to break the all-time yards record, which is awesome because I don't think Tom Brady can catch him. Because that's one thing that I've noticed about Tom Brady is, yes, he's got all these Super Bowl rings, but he doesn't really own a lot of records. You know what I mean? So it's like, what does that say to me? Like, Drew Brees is out here, breaking all these records that Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, et cetera, but he doesn't have very many rings. But Tom Brady's got 5 rings, and he doesn't have very many records.
Yeah.
If you had to pick, would you rather be like have all the records as like top quarterback in every category, or 5 championships?
Well, the thing is, Brees has 1, so I'd be fine with the records if I only had 1 championship.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, I guess. But I'm just saying, like, if you could, because everybody calls Brady the GOAT because he's got 5, but yet Brees is breaking all the records and he doesn't even get consideration for it. You know what I mean? So that's a tough one. I'd probably go with the records and 1 championship too.
Yeah, but the thing is like the Patriots have always been a complete team, like no matter what. And the Saints for a lot of years they didn't really have a defense. And then that Super Bowl year they made one, but then literally the year after that they couldn't pay everybody. So it's like Brees has had a lot more weapons. I think that's why that happens. I'm not taking anything away from Brees. That dude could sling the rock, but he's had a lot more weapons than Brady. Because Brady usually gets, he's had like Randy Moss, but he was on the downside of his career. But that year that he had Moss, they were breaking records.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
For sure. And another thing, I can't believe I got to bring this up, man. I'm all out of it. The Hawks versus the Cardinals. Earl Thomas breaks his leg and fucking flips off his fan, like flips off his sidelines, getting carted off. Listen, another thing me and my uncle were arguing about, well, not disagreeing about, was I'm like, listen, the dude held out. He wanted more money because he knew if he got hurt this year, he only had a 1-year deal for a certain amount of money. He gets hurt, he's fucked. What the fuck happened? He breaks his leg, he's done for the season, and he don't have anything to fall back on.
And he'll be a free agent, so it's like, he's 29 years old. He wants to pick up a 29-year-old safety who's just coming off an injury.
Exactly. So I get it now, and so I would have done the same fucking thing. And my uncle said, "Oh, that was Bush League," and blah blah. I agree with it. I agree with him doing that. I mean, he was a top 5 player at his position. He deserved to get paid. He made $8 million this year as a top 5 safety. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and now and then after this happens, now Le'Veon Bell's coming out saying he's coming back week 7. After the bye week, I think he's just going to sign his tender and then they're going to trade him, which is fine. But somebody posted the picture of Earl Thomas flipping off, and you seen Le'Veon Bell's comment on the bottom saying, "I'll continue to be the bad guy for all of us. This is bullshit. Stay up," you know.
Yeah.
I get it. These players make way more money than they probably should, but at the same time, they're played for a company that makes millions and billions of dollars. So, like, you know, anybody who works for us, you know, for a company that makes billions of dollars, they got to spend the money somewhere. And if it wasn't for these players, those people wouldn't make the billions of dollars. So you got to pay these players. You know what I mean?
Just about like if you're on a contract at your job right now, and somehow like you were afraid, like it's a very dangerous job. You're not going to sign it if you don't feel safe. You know what I mean? That's that's exactly what the NFL doesn't have anything like that for the players.
Exactly.
And that's why these players union are you know, they're backing Le'Veon.
Yep, for sure, and they should. They should. Steelers versus Ravens. Speaking of Le'Veon, 36 rushing yards from Connor. Yeah, he looked great week 1. You know, lightened it up week 1. Didn't do shit against Kansas City. Didn't do shit week 3. Didn't do shit.
Yeah,
week 4.
he's more of a, he's getting more yards in receiving than he is rushing. And
so, all my uncle said was, man, that offensive line in Pittsburgh made Le'Veon Bell look a lot better than he is. What are they doing now? He's like, oh, they only ran it 11 times. Well, they only lost by 12. It was 26-14, so there's plenty of time to run the ball in there. Maybe they weren't running the ball because Connor can't run the ball.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like, fuck, we fucked up. We should have done what we had to do to get Le'Veon Bell here.
Yeah, they should have.
I'll say it again. Sorry, I'll say it again. If they had Le'Veon Bell, they win week 1. They lose to Kansas City. They win week 2. They win week 3. Plain and simple.
See, but the thing is like you could even say maybe they beat Kansas City because Kansas City's defense, I think they've given up the most yards in the NFL so far.
Yep.
And the thing about Le'Veon Bell is he controls the running game, so you have, you know, that's less time the other offense has to play.
Here's what they're playing when you got Connor in there. You don't have to stick 8 in the box. When you got Le'Veon Bell there, you got 8 in the box every single snap.
Yeah.
Because that dude will either take a handoff, a screen pass, a sweep pass, whatever. You got 8 in the box when Le'Veon Bell's in the backfield.
Yeah.
And that's what opened up that offense for Antonio Brown and fucking Smith-Schuster. Don't get me wrong, Big Ben's still getting his yards and still getting his, you know, attempts and all that shit, but I feel like the offense is not fluid like it was with Le'Veon Bell. And now they're sitting, Pittsburgh's probably like, fuck, we should have just paid the dude and we'd be winning games right now because their Super Bowl window is closing down.
Really fast. Because
Big Ben ain't going to be around much longer. He's already talking about retirement last year.
He did the last 2 years, and, you know, he comes back, and then now his running back, his starting running back's not even, you know, they're not
well, then
trying
you
to
got
pay him.
Antonio Brown throwing fits on the sideline 2 weeks in a row. And that's what the reporters asked him after the game. Oh, you look frustrated. He's like, you didn't see me frustrated. But then they showed the highlight of him just fucking, he was definitely frustrated, but he got in trouble for what he did last time, so he ain't saying nothing this time. But, so that brings me to Kansas City, Denver. What a game. I'm not going to lie. I fell asleep last night at like 6:30, right at kickoff, whatever. I woke up right at the start of the fourth quarter. It was 13-13. It was 13-13, start of the fourth quarter, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Damn, Kansas City's defense stepped up. Denver's got a defense. All of a sudden, that man, Patrick Mahomes, is the real deal, bro. He is the real deal.
Oh,
that left-handed pass, bro, you got Von Miller on your ass. You got Von fucking Miller on your ass. And you switch hands and throw it left-handed for a first down on third down. Huge to me. Huge. The dude makes all the big throws. He ain't scared of the moment.
14 unanswered points in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
0 picks still. 14 touchdowns this year with no picks.
Keenum, man, I don't think I think we're starting to see the real case Keenum.
Yeah,
I don't think he looks very good.
Because Denver should have won that game for sure.
But when he plays the Jets next week, I'm sure he'll have about 675 passing yards and 9 touchdowns.
Yeah, one thing I want to say about that game last night is like I know Von Miller is, you know, one of the best in the league, but I don't like how I didn't hear anybody talk about how he overscraped the quarterback like on a lot of his rushes and allowed Mahomes to break containment and to run to the sideline and, you know, wait for somebody to get open, because with all that speed they got downfield, somebody's going to get open. And I know Von Miller's trying to rush the quarterback, but there was multiple times I've seen him just dive, like put his head down and try to edge rush him, and he just steps up in the pocket. And I'm like, you're supposed to, as a DN, you know, you're supposed to keep containment, especially with a quarterback that's got legs or a quarterback that's got an arm like that with weapons like he has downfield. And nobody's talking about that.
Yeah, because Von Miller can do no wrong. You know what I mean? But I know what you're saying. I've seen it on a couple times. Even that play where he switched to left-handed.
The 23-yard on third or second and 30. Or,
yeah. And well, that left-handed throw, Von Miller had him, bro, and then Mahomes made one little shimmy, and Miller went to the backside, and Mahomes cut up the inside, and then that's when he switched hands. I will say this, the guy who put together Kansas City's team right now, John Dorsey, is now the GM of the Cleveland Browns. So imagine if he can fucking get them guys some offense.
Or imagine if he stayed and made a defense in Kansas City.
Right, for sure, maybe.
Because they got, I think they got the Jaguars next.
Yeah.
And then
no, we'll find out who they play here. But again, week 4, I went 11-5. Man, you guys want to bet some money? Just listen to this podcast. I'll get you 11-5 is pretty damn fucking good. Let's see if I can keep it up here for week 5. I don't want to brag too much and then go 5-11 this week, but. All right, so week 5, there's a couple good games, but not very many. Indy versus Pats. I'm going to go with New England Patriots on that one just because they look like they're back, all that trash talk. You got New England?
Me too.
All right, New England versus the Pats. You both take Jets, Broncos. I'm not going to not pick my team, so I'm going to take my Jets. You got the Broncos?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos.
I got my Jets. I can't. It's at home. I can't just not pick. my team.
I know. I picked Buffalo to beat the Packers just after coming off of that game in Minnesota.
When I start picking other teams is when I give up on my team, and I'll never give up on my team. I've been a Jets fan forever. We've sucked forever. Besides 2 seasons in my whole life. Lions, Packers. I'm sorry. I got the Packers. But it is a divisional game, so anything can happen.
That's a tough one. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Detroit.
Oh, you're gonna take Detroit? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think Stafford's gonna pass all over them.
Panthers and the G-Men. I'm gonna go with the Panthers just because Eli Manning ain't got no time.
Oh no, the Panthers are good.
Yeah, and Saquon Barkley looks like a real deal though. He does look like the real deal.
I think that's another one that doesn't get the ball enough.
Yep. Bills, Titans. I'm gonna go with Titans just because they've been winning games.
I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Yeah, got to. Atlanta versus Pittsburgh. Atlanta's 1-3, but they've been in every game they've played.
I know that's gonna be a high scoring game. Whoever's got fantasy players on both those teams, you're gonna have a good week.
Yeah. That's a tough one for me too. I'm gonna go with Atlanta.
It's just hard because Atlanta's just like, I don't know. They can't stop the fourth quarter drive.
Yep.
2 back-to-back like last second throws for touchdowns.
Yep.
In a row. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Atlanta in that one too.
Baltimore versus Cleveland. Listen, crazy stat. Baltimore's defense has not given up a point in the second half all season. That is fucking insane,
yeah.
Bro. That is insane. They have not given up 1 point in the second half. Look it up. 1 point in the second half all season. So unless Cleveland's out 28-0 in the first half, I'm going to take Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm going to take Baltimore. And it looks like Flacco's playing with the chip on his shoulder because they've been bringing in Lamar Jackson, just for different sets.
This is my fucking team, man. This is my fucking team.
Yeah, so. Flacco looks on point this year. He does.
Fins versus Bengals. I think the Dolphins are still hung over from that Patriots ass whooping, plus Mixon's back, so I'm going to take Cincy.
Yeah, the Bengals.
Jaguars and Chiefs, that's got to be the game of the week, man. Jaguars, Chiefs. The Chiefs are finally going to play a team that's got a top 5 defense. The Jaguars' offense can go when it needs, every once in a while they're very inconsistent, but sometimes it can go, and we've seen the Chiefs' defense is not very good.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to take the Chiefs just because that dude, until they lose, I'm not going to pick against them.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Raiders, go ahead, you have something to say?
No.
Raiders versus Chargers. I'm gonna take the Chargers just because fuck the Raiders. But Raiders versus Chargers. I got the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers too.
Okay. Minnesota versus Philly. Minnesota's lost 2 in a row. Philly's lost 2 in a row. They both want to win this game.
I'm gonna go with Philly.
All right, I'm gonna go with Minnesota then. You got Philly. I got Minnesota. Oh yeah, you got Philly. I got Minnesota. Los Angeles Rams versus Seattle. I'm sorry, Seattle. You're gonna probably lose by like 35 points because. Their coach McAvey or whatever the fuck his name is
Sean McVay.
Genius, bro, for how young he is.
And Earl Thomas is gone, so that's going to be a huge loss on their defense.
You got the Rams again?
Yep.
All right. Cardinals versus 49ers. I think the Cardinals get their first win. I think Rosen gets his first win.
I'm going to go with the Niners. I like the way they played last week, especially against the Chargers.
The shootout in Texas, Dallas versus Houston.
I'm gonna go Houston. Houston's coming off. They finally got over that hump.
I'm gonna take Houston too. Saints versus Redskins. I'm gonna take the Redskins, man.
Ooh, Redskins.
I'm gonna take the Redskins.
Yeah, they do got a good defense. Norman.
And AP's running like old AP, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Saints. Drew Brees. Wow.
Good. I like when we picked a lot of the same ones. I like when we pick opposite ones too. All right, so there it is. That's our week 5 picks. Couple more quick topics we're going to talk about. Like I said, we try and keep this down to about 30 minutes because, you don't want to ramble on and give away, talk about useless information. But Nebraska lost again, 0-4, 0-5, 0-9, whatever it is. It's not good. It's not pretty. We just keep beating ourselves in the foot. Penalties. We got players dancing on the sideline when we're getting our asses kicked. I like what Scott Frost says after every game. He says how it is. It's real. He's like, listen, I'm tired of seeing this shit. I'm going to start taking these players out and put players in that want to play. And listen, I don't care if you're good or not good, but better than the guy in front of you or not. If you're going to listen to me, then I'm going to put you in the game. We're on the road in Wisconsin this weekend. I don't know.
It's a night game, too.
That'll probably be a day drinking type of day. Get nice and lubed up so you forget the game before it starts.
Yeah, wake up just in time for the McGregor and Khabib fight.
Yes, and also UFC 229. Conor McGregor versus Khabib. I got Conor. Who you got?
I'm going with Conor. The dude's a savage. I mean, he's the bad guy in this fight. There's a lot of people that like Khabib, but
Here's my thing. If Khabib will actually fight him instead of just grab his legs and hold on to him for 5 minutes for fucking 5 rounds, then Conor's going to just drop him, dude. I think Conor will knock him out. But Khabib's a smart fighter, so I see Khabib trying to take him down and just sit on top of him and ground and pound him. But I also think Conor McGregor's been doing nothing but working on his wrestling. I got Conor in a knockout inside 3 rounds. 3-round knockout. Because Khabib don't really have a chin. He got rocked twice his last fight against some nobody they called up at the last minute. So, UFC 229, check it out. Again, guys, listen to our picks, man. 11-5 last week. We're going to try and keep it going. We got a couple different ones. We'll check in next week. Real quick, though, before we get out of here, I want to thank my sponsor, O'Hara Exteriors, LLC. Siding, windows, gutters, and roofing. Anything you need done, give them a call at 402-213-3289. Again, that's 402-213-3289. Tell them you heard about them on the podcast. Everybody, put the word out there. Listen to us. Spread. We're growing. We're on different platforms. People are sharing our stuff. People are tweeting our stuff. I'll be on ESPN by next year doing picks for NFL if I keep this shit up. And so, so get on before it blows up, because then you'll be like, hey, I was one of the first people there. Again, I don't know if everyone's scared or what, but people come on. Let's go. Get on here and talk about football with us, about your favorite team, even if it's one game, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. Get on. I want people to interact with us, comment on us, tweet, whatever. You can find me on Facebook at Cole Sharp, Twitter at Cole Sharp. You can find the podcast if you only want audio versions of any of our past episodes. Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Podbean, Anchor. Everywhere there's podcasts, you can find it. I'll tell you what, I went to my buddy's phone, and it was pretty weird typing in my name on Spotify and it popping up. So it was pretty cool. I mean, we're making headway. Again, I do a wrestling show. It's been off for a couple weeks because we're working on some new shit. We're getting ready to start that up. But support us, man. Put the word out there. It doesn't take that long. We try to keep these episodes short so you can get all the way through them. And not forget to hit that subscribe, like, and share button and tell people about it. And if there's stuff we can improve on, let us know. But I feel like we know what we're talking about when it comes to the game of football, just like any other guy does, that you know. So, compare and contrast. You got anything else you want to say?
No, nothing. Just support. Support us.
We'll see you guys on next Tuesday. We'll be going forward every Tuesday now, for sure. No more miscommunications unless I'm dying of sickness, because this shit. I hate sinuses, man. Sinuses, stuffy noses. I'd rather have the flu than a stuffy nose and congestion. Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. Thank you very much for listening. Support us, subscribe, share, and listen.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Hope you come back next time.
Yes, thank you guys for listening to this podcast. We really appreciate it. All of my past podcasts and future podcasts are available on YouTube at Cole Sports Corner Podcast on YouTube. Also available on the Anchor app. You can go there. All you gotta do is type in Cole Sharp, and all my links will be right there on my profile page. Also available on Apple Podcasts under Cole Sharp as well. Subscribe, like, tell your friends about it. We really, really appreciate it. Like I said, we're growing. So the more we grow, the more we can do. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.